I was trying to get to him and he disappeared.
A 16-year-old drowns in the Columbia this week. Coming up on Sunrise, more from that man we just heard from, who shares how he jumped in the river to try and save the boy. Plus,
I wish they never would have met.
A brutal attack in Longview. 2 people stabbed in their own home. This morning, the family speaks out about the convicted felon they'd hired as a handyman. And
the retailers don't want to raise prices.
New tariffs, climbing costs for manufacturers, and rising prices for the rest of us. We're going to have more on the continuing passing of the buck as the 7 o'clock hour of Sunrise starts right now.
good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Chris McGinnis, Rod Hill, are you there? Yes, they are there. Rod, big story today. We've got rain in the forecast.
We have rain. Light showers came in overnight on cue. So far here in Oregon, everything I've seen reports of is just that. Very light showers passing. We've got more activity overall up in Washington, less in Oregon. It is raining along the coast, much more so than the radar beam is picking up. And that may be the case down even in parts of Marion and Linn counties this morning as well. So don't be surprised if you step outside and the pavement in your neighborhood is a little wet. Here are the raindrops on the lens from Schnookwan's Casino Resort in Lincoln City, where it's 62 degrees. Here's downtown Portland. We've had several passing light showers into this morning. We are at 66. This will be a very gray, cloudy day. Just light showers from time to time through the day. Have a rain jacket. It's not going to be bad to be out and about. And then once we get past 5 o'clock, I think the rain starts to pick up at some point this evening. I'm not positive about the timing on that, but eventually the evening gets really wet. Heavier rain overnight tonight. It still looks like that will be over and out of here for a pretty good weekend. We'll have your forecast for that coming up. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with a traffic alert on southbound I-5. Photojournalist Eric Patterson is stuck in the backup. He's manning the wheel of Drive 8. He's about to pass the Hood Avenue on-ramp, right? So this is just south of the Markham Bridge. That's where he's stuck, and it's taken him a good 12 or 13 minutes to get to this point from when he first got on the Markham Bridge, only about 1.25 miles away. So you get the idea. Traffic is really starting to slow. Here's the crash on I-5 South. It's just prior to the Terwilliger Boulevard exit ramp. The southbound shoulder and right lane are blocked. They've been blocked for more than an hour now, and the lineup extends again back onto the Markham Bridge, and it's starting to trickle back towards Morrison. This will probably start to add some time to the westbound I-84 commute as well. So if you're heading south on I-5 out of downtown, plan on at least an extra 20 minutes to get through that stretch of road right now from the Markham Bridge down to Terwilliger. China, we'll keep you posted.
Thank you, Chris. The Vancouver police say they recovered the body of a 16-year-old boy who drowned in the Columbia River on Wednesday.
It happened at Frenchman's Bar Regional Park. It's a popular swimming spot over near Vancouver Lake. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz brings us more.
Well, here in Vancouver, we spoke to a man who saw it all unfold. He says he saw that teen struggling against the water. He actually ran in to the river to try to help and save him, but it was already too late.
He got, I think, tired. And so before he even made it to that point where he could rest and hold on to something, the current started pulling him downward.
Alex Watson was along the river with his daughter when he saw the teen struggling. Watson says the boy yelled for help. He then jumped in, swimming against the current to try to reach him.
Immediately I felt the current. I was trying to get to him, and he disappeared, like when I was probably 30 to 40 feet away from him, just gone.
The river at Frenchman's Bar may look calm, but officials say it can be dangerous. Clark County fire officials say the first 10 to 15 feet of the shoreline along the water is pretty benign, but after that, there's a big drop off. The boy's body was recovered yesterday. Police still haven't said yet who the 16-year-old was, although we're expecting more information from the Clark County Medical Examiner's Office later sometime next week. In Vancouver, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
Meanwhile, Portland police arrested a man who they say jumped into the Columbia to get away from them. Portland police say 27-year-old Tanner Miles ran a red light near the Cascade Station Transit Center, and when officers tried to pull him over, they say he took off. Shortly after that, police say they got a call about a man who was heading north in the southbound lanes of I-205 near the airport. So it turns out that wrong-way driver was Miles. Officers say he eventually got off the freeway, out of his car. He led police on a foot chase through an airport parking lot and then in a wooded area near the freeway. They caught him after he jumped into the river. Miles faces several charges, including reckless driving and eluding police.
The Coast Guard has suspended its search in the mysterious disappearance of a fisherman. The 65-year-old was last heard from last Friday. His boat was sending out an automatic navigation signal, so crews tracked it down to the Oregon coast all the way to Eureka, California. But once they found the boat, there was no sign of the fisherman on board. Crews searched more than 2,100 square miles with no luck. They also say there was never a distress call.
We have new details in the murder investigation of a Longview woman whose family told us that the man accused of killing her was working as a handyman inside her home. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson brings us the latest on this case from the KGW newsroom. Corey?
Drew, the Los Angeles Police Department arrested Alexander Lee Rogers in that investigation. 64-year-old Don Peters died at the scene, and 73-year-old Andrew Peters was airlifted to the hospital but is currently recovering at home. Now, the victims were in-laws and Rogers knew them. Witnesses reported Rogers drove away from that scene before officers arrived. Police say Rogers was released from prison 10 months ago after serving more than 2 decades for violent crimes committed in August 2002. According to family and neighbors, Rogers had worked briefly for the family as a handyman, and they didn't know about his criminal past.
No, he wouldn't have been in their house if they did. He obviously had been locked up for 20 years, so they really didn't know him. Somebody, I think, said, oh, this guy's looking for work. He didn't have to do that. He could have done anything else. She'd still be with us.
Longview police say Rogers will have an extradition hearing in California before being transferred to Washington. But it's not known exactly how long it could take. Coming up at 8 o'clock, we break down more details on how that suspect was found. Drew?
All right, Corey Johnson live for us there in the KGW newsroom. Skamania County detectives are calling a death in the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest a homicide. Authorities found the body of 20-year-old Jacob Deshaw from Carson last month. Detectives are asking anyone who lives in the Hemlock and Stabler areas and along Wind River Road to check surveillance video from July 1st to July 20th for any suspicious activity.
At least one person appears to have died from heat-related illness this week. Multnomah County health officials said that they're investigating the death of a 59-year-old man who was found in southeast Portland earlier this week. Right now, his death is suspected to be heat-related, though confirmation could take several weeks. If that's the case, this would be the first reported heat-related death in the county this year.
Starting September 2nd, the city is extending pay-to-park hours in and around downtown Portland until 10 o'clock at night. So areas impacted by these extended hours include Old Town and the Pearl District. Late-night parking hours were already extended in the Central East Side earlier this month, and it's also happening in Northwest Portland starting October 1st.
Your time now is 7:07, headed over to Rod Hill. Oh, no, taking a look at this. I don't know what we're looking at because it's so rainy out there.
I think that's the coast. Is that our Lincoln City sky cam? Bottom line, it's definitely rainy out there.
Yes. Rod Hill, go.
Thank you for that introduction. Snoqualmie Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City is what you just saw. Yes, rain there. The coast will see light showers this morning, and then the rain just becomes absolutely steady this afternoon into this evening. You see the cloud flow coming in. So far, we've had a lot more rain activity in Washington, far less in Oregon overall. Rain totals so far. I'm sorry, no, this is the rain potential map. Pardon me. This is the rain potential map through tonight, ending early tomorrow morning. And then the amounts are pretty good. 67 100ths in Tillamook, 32 100ths in Portland, a half of an inch up in Kelso. It still looks like most of this rain for the valley, almost all of it, that racks up in a gauge, will come this evening and overnight. So we're mainly talking about just light, barely measurable stuff as we get going through the day today. Here's our state capital down, Salem, 64. Right now dry, overcast, but there's been some light rain in the area. Portland, we've had quite a few light showers actually come and go. Still looking at just traceable amounts of total rainfall now in the 7 o'clock hour of your Friday. 66 is the number. Winds are southwest today to about 15. The flags are moving. I'm looking at Lincoln High School right next to our station here, and the flags are moving in the breeze. 64 in Tigard. We have 64 in Salem and 67 degrees down in Albany. This will be a day with sunshine. Eastern areas of our state, partly cloudy, and 80 in Madras and Bend. The Dalles waking up to cloudy skies this morning, but expected to become partly sunny. But the coast and the valley just absolutely solid cloud covered today. The light showers in Portland, Salem, and Vancouver this morning and this afternoon. Rain picking up this evening, the heavy rain band overnight. And then I carry a shower chance tomorrow, but it really looks like tomorrow's going to be, if not entirely dry, 95% of the time would be dry with partly sunny skies and 76. Pretty good looking Sunday as well with a high of 78. And that is your forecast update. Chris has been watching another traffic backup.
Yeah, traffic alert, Rod. I-5 southbound in the Twilliger curves. Photojournalist Eric Patterson is manning the wheel here of Drive 80. He's about to come up on this crash scene, which is just prior to that sweeping turn to the Twilliger exit ramp. It's been there for more than an hour. This backup right now is, you can see the right lane is still blocked at this point. I'm not sure if they had a little cleanup there or whatnot on the road there ahead of that incident responder. But the end result here is that this is costing drivers at least another 20 minutes extra on your I-5 South Drive. We know this because Eric was actually caught in it. He hit the backup around the Markham Bridge, and it has taken him this long in the last 15 minutes just to get down into the vicinity of the crash. So plan some extra time there. You can see I-5 South stacking up near OMSI. The lineup starts right around, between the Morrison Bridge and the Markham Bridge, and traffic is slow and go the rest of the way there down to Twilliger. China?
Thank you, Chris. Have you ever wanted to see grown adults throw themselves down the street in homemade cars? Well, you'll want to head to Mount Tabor Park this weekend for the PDX Adult Soapbox Derby. The details on that event, plus more weekend things to do when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Christine Pitawanich. If you need some ideas to make the most of your weekend, we've got you covered. Let's start with an annual tradition. The PDX Adult Soapbox Derby returns this Saturday at Mount Tabor Park. You can watch as costumed riders zoom down in their homemade, gravity-powered cars, and I kind of say cars a little loosely there. The event has been a Portland summer tradition since 1997. All the fun starts at 10 a.m. and runs until 4. Admission is free. Also on Saturday, the 9th annual Jade International Night Market in Southeast Portland. This market celebrates the small businesses and cultural diversity of the Jade District. Stop by to enjoy a variety of cultural performances, and you can also indulge in some tasty snacks. Who doesn't love that? The free event runs from 3 to 10 p.m. at the Portland Community College Southeast Campus on 82nd Avenue. And if you need some feline comfort, we've got the perfect content for you. Saturday is the Cat Video Fest at the Pam Cuts Tomorrow Theater in Southeast Portland. This is where you can watch a compilation of the best cat videos from the internet with other cat lovers. A portion of the ticket sales will be going to a local cat-based charity called the Pixie Project. It's an all-ages event with tickets costing $15. The show starts at 7 p.m. And finally, on Sunday, Portland's very own Italian cooking maven Kathy Wims is celebrating the release of her cookbook, The Italian Summer Kitchen. The event is happening this Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. at Vivian Culinary Books. The 6-time James Beard Award nominee will talk about her long-awaited collection of recipes. Guests can also enjoy some snacks from Wim's flagship restaurant, that is Nostrana. Love that place. You can also buy a book for her to sign. For more weekend inspiration, check out the 8 Things to Do article. It's up each week at kgw.com.
Portland Center Stage announced that its upcoming season is now secure after concerns that the curtain would fall for good. The theater company announced it has raised $3.6 million since launching its fundraising campaign in May. That's $1 million more than its first benchmark and 2 weeks ahead of schedule. Edwina Kane, the director of development with Portland Center Stage, says the amount of donations has been motivating.
It's amazing to sit here right now. You know, there's always a moment of doubt in the beginning, but this moment kind of erases all of that, and it's super motivating.
The theater still needs to raise a total of $9 million by June 2026.
All right, the story before that was the weekend look ahead, right? There's a lot of events happening outside, including that LPGA event at Columbia Edgewater. People are asking, how much is this rain going to impact weekend events?
So I don't think much at all. The period of time that will be impacted is this evening. You're going to be going to something this evening, outdoors with friends. That's going to be wet. But tomorrow's really potentially completely dry. Sunday's potentially just completely dry and partly cloudy. I'll be out at Columbia Edgewater for the LPGA Standard Portland Classic. It's professional women's golf, and it's fantastic. I'll be out there announcing the groups as they come up the 18th green on Sunday, so looking forward to that. Hope to see you out there. Here's a look at our rainfall map. So the zeros, so this doesn't plot traces of rain. So we do know there's been a trace of rain in Portland. We do know there's been a trace of rain in Salem. Astoria just cracking over a 10th with 1100s. And part of our messaging this morning has been there's been a lot more rain so far. It started last night with scattered showers in Washington, far less in Oregon. And this really showcases that. Already Seattle's picked up more than 1/4 inch of rain. It's going to be a much wetter day overall up there today than we will see here in Portland. So be prepared for that if you're traveling northward on this Friday. Here's the weather system. The clouds are zipping into us. This still looks to be an absolutely solid, overcast, gray day like we don't see in August that often. It's mostly light showers this morning and this afternoon. Nice mix of dry time and then a passing light shower. The clouds do extend out through the Dalles this morning. Your forecast from the Weather Service calls for you to become partly cloudy, but well, I'm not sure. You might just stay cloudy today. 65. In fact, we've had some light showers out in Wasco County already this morning, and that's what's being reported at the airport at this hour. Here are the other temperatures on the map. 64 in Salem. Everybody's cloudy here on the west side. We'll have sunshine, though, in Bend, where it's 54. And we'll have sunshine in Pendleton, Baker City, John Day, and Burns. Burns is at 52 this morning. Here's the Futurecast movie. And I really think this model has a pretty good handle on what we're going to be seeing. Thick cloud cover this morning. Ongoing threat of some light showers. Have a rain jacket. It's not going to be bad to be out and about at all. And same thing this afternoon in the valley. But this afternoon, the coast will see the rain pick up from north to south and become steady. This is 1 o'clock. And then I'm going to stop this at 5. If you look carefully, rain's picking up in Longview, but still not much rain all the way through the 5 o'clock hour in Portland and Salem. Now, eventually this evening, and I'm not clear on the timing, but eventually this evening, the rain picks up, and then we'll be into a steady batch of rain, heavy at times, that goes all the way through your overnight. But this is almost entirely out of here by the morning hours, which brings me to a good-looking weekend. So we have the clouds today, just some light showers around, not bad. But you're out this evening, you might be running from the rain. 73 the high. The rain is pretty much over by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, so we have a shower threat for a spotty shower, but overall a nice, dry, partly sunny weekend. 76 tomorrow, 78 on Sunday, and then pretty nice run of weather into next Wednesday and Thursday. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. I've got good news and bad news. The good news is the crash that's been here for more than an hour and a half now has just cleared to the shoulder. The bad news is the backup is back towards the Morrison Bridge. Speeds are starting to pick up, but if you're about to hit the roads right now, I'll show you the red line on the traffic map. I-5 southbound is puttering along for about 3 miles from the Morrison Bridge down to the Twilliger curves. Give yourself an extra 15 minutes to get through that if you're about to hit the roads right now. Outside of that, the roads are actually in pretty good shape this morning. You can see the drive times are still pretty close to a speed limit clip. Hey, despite the rain, and I checked in with ODOT about this yesterday, the 217 closure is still on for this weekend. Tonight, the final in a series of 5 weekend closures of 217. It's northbound tonight from 99W through Shoals Ferry as they pave that section of the freeway. This is kind of the last hurrah, the last big traffic impact around that 217 auxiliary lanes project, which Drew in China, that's been ongoing for about 4 years now. They're getting really close to wrapping that thing up. You'll appreciate the fresh asphalt as you hit that on Monday morning. Back to you.
Yeah, people will definitely like to see that project in their rearview mirror, Chris. Tariff talk this morning on the Sunrise Show. Coming up, makers and manufacturers say tariffs have already led to higher costs for them. When those higher costs will bring higher prices to the rest of us in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
New numbers show costs are on the rise for American makers and manufacturers, and higher costs on that end almost always mean higher prices for consumers. Reporter Yvonne Rodriguez has more on when we may start paying more.
The prices that businesses pay for the stuff you buy is heating up. The latest Producer Price Index, which measures the average change in prices paid by producers over time, jumped 0.9% from June, lifting the annual rate to 3.3%, according to Bureau of Labor Statistics data.
On today's data, it looks like wholesale manufacturers on things like machinery are really struggling with tariffs, and so it's going to be that kind of detail going forward that's going to help us determine where prices are getting higher.
Thursday's readings far exceeded economists' expectations for prices, rising by just 0.2% in July and 2.4% annually. Earlier this week, the Consumer Price Index for July showed that falling gas prices limited the average price consumers were paying overall, but that goods affected by tariffs kept getting more expensive.
The CPI print, that's more backward looking than this data. This tells us how producers, how companies are thinking about pricing going forward. So it's more of that forward looking data, and it's painting a picture of prices going up.
Ultimately, economists believe businesses will have to make a decision whether to pass down the increased costs they're facing to the American consumer. It's a decision Stu Leonard Jr., president and CEO of Stu Leonard Grocery Stores, says he struggles with.
The retailers don't want to raise prices. We're sometimes get choked a little bit by what we are allowed to buy it at and what we have to retail it at in the store.
In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Here's some other consumer headlines for you this morning. Airbnb has launched a new Reserve Now, Pay Later option that allows people to book reservations without paying right away. But you will still have to pay before the end of your fee cancellation period, and you'll still be charged up front for travel insurance and other add-ons. Apple is bringing blood oxygen detection back to its latest smartwatches. This feature was pulled in 2023 because of a patent dispute, but U.S. Customs has cleared shipping for a revamped version of the technology. Also, Series 9, 10, and Ultra 2 models will be able to get access to the feature through a software update. And last headline here, Arizona iced teas, 99-cent cans and bottles could soon be on the way out. The company says President Trump's tariff on Canadian aluminum and steel is the reason behind this cost increase. Arizona iced tea says about 20% of the aluminum it uses for those cans comes from Canada.
Space is doing cool things. Come here.
Wednesday night and again yesterday morning, a lot of you reached out to us after spotting a bright, blazing light thing streak across the sky.
In fact, several viewers caught it on video. We're going to share some of those clips with you right here. The first one comes from Sarah in Cornelius, who recorded this around 10 o'clock Wednesday night. And you can see basically that bright streak. It then breaks apart pretty good.
And then here's a clip from Kevin in Newburgh that was taken about the same time. Looks like some multiple fragments there just kind of tumbling away.
So we also checked in about this with OMSI's Jim Todd. He's an expert in the area. He says it could have been a meteor, or he says it could have been a piece of space junk just re-entering the atmosphere. Meteors, he says, typically flash by in seconds, but rocket parts can burn longer and break up into fragments. If you recorded this space situation, we'd still like to see it. You can text your videos to 503-226-5088. That's the KGW text line that we have up there on your screen. All right, today is the last day of this special legislative session in Texas, and Democrats still have not returned. We're going to have the latest on this situation at 7:30. Also, it's almost back to school season, so we're testing our knowledge. You ready for this, Rod Hill? We've got school trivia, me versus Rod. You can play along too. Again, that's coming up in our next half hour.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We are coming up on 7:29 on your Friday morning. We start with a tri-minute alert. The Max Green Line delayed up to 15 minutes because of some delays in downtown and also some signal issues, it sounds like, on the orange and yellow lines, creating some 15-minute delays as well. So plan for that on the Max Orange and Green Lines. Good news on the freeway. The earlier crash in the Terwilliger Curve is finally cleared. There still is a residual delay here, as you can see on our traffic map, but that too is beginning to flush out. So for the most part, Rod, our morning drive is actually in really good shape.
All right, Chris, thanks for that. You could tell the pavement in some of Chris's cameras is just a little wet. Nothing's really soaked out there. We've had passing light showers for the most part. Either you've had nothing or you've had a trace of rain move through your neighborhood. But this threat of light showers just keeps continuing this morning and this afternoon. I don't think it's going to be a bad day to be out and about. Just have a rain jacket with you should you get caught in a light shower. We're at 66 degrees. Winds are from the south. There is the likelihood that rain picks up this evening, rainy overnight, but the weekend mainly dry with the majority of the rain over by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
You guys familiar with Bonta Gelata? Bonta Gelato?
No.
No.
I'll tell you, it's a popular spot over in Bend.
Is it?
And now it's coming to Portland.
All right.
We have it here now. It's going to open up in the Pearl District over on Northwest 10th Avenue. Bonta Gelato was named Best Ice Cream in Oregon and 29th Best Ice Cream in the entire U.S. on Yelp.
Well, now I'm embarrassed. I haven't heard of this. I must try.
The Pearl District grand opening is at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and I understand that you can actually get some free ice cream today at that grand opening. Bonta Gelato. I didn't even know how to say it. I thought maybe it was Bonta, but it's Bonta Gelato.
Wow. They must have a special way of making it. I want to go try it. I mean, if it's that good, right?
Now, we don't have the best like ice cream weather, I would say, today. This doesn't feel like the middle of August. It feels like the start of October. What do you want from me? I'm just being truthful over here.
The weatherman feel bad. I'm not even looking at you, Mr. Carney. Here's a look at our radar this morning with the thick cloud cover out there, some light showers passing through. We've had quite a bit more rain up in Washington than Oregon, and that may continue to be the case. If your travels take you north of the Columbia River today, if you're driving all the way up to Seattle, it's going to be pretty wet up there. They've already picked up over 1/4 inch of rain. Our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera link studies look like this almost all morning. So that's pretty wet, isn't it? Yeah, 62. We've had some light showers in Portland, but so far being measured just a trace. We are at 66. So I don't think today's bad. I mean, it's just going to be some light showers around at times, nothing that you're going to be running from. It will be a thick overcast Friday, 66 now, 68 at noon. Temps won't do much, 73 the high. If you have plans this evening, assume that before you get home, it's going to be raining pretty good. That's when most of the rain comes in this evening and overnight tonight. Here's Chris.
Rodney, I have a concert to go to tonight.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Let's get you out the door. Heads up. Max delays right now. TriMet reporting some sort of a signal issue near the Rose Quarter. That is delaying the green line up to 15 minutes. And another issue near OMSI is creating some delays on the orange and yellow lines up to 15 minutes there as well. So just know that might take you some extra time on your Max commute. The I-5 commute getting better. This crash on the shoulder here down near Terwilliger cleared a little while ago. It created a pretty significant backup on the southbound I-5 drive a little while ago, but that now is flushing out. So I'm happy to tell you that drive is in pretty good shape. And guys, as we look at the drive times, looking real good here for a Friday morning. We were zipping along at a speed limit clip on most of the freeway system.
All right, thank you, Chris. All right, we start this half hour with some national news. It's the last day of the special legislative session in Texas, where Democrats and Republicans are nowhere near the same page. In fact, Democrats have not yet returned to the state to cast their vote.
And Texas Governor Greg Abbott says even if they don't return in time, he'll still push through the new maps in another special session. Amy Kiley has the latest.
This is the most unsexy issue that will rip apart the fabric of our democracy.
The Texas redistricting standoff is at a critical juncture today. State Republicans are trying to redraw maps early in a way that could win their party 5 congressional seats in the midterms. State House Democrats are remaining outside Texas to break quorum and prevent the vote. Now they're giving 2 conditions for their return. One is the adjournment of a special session that's underway. That's expected to happen today. The Republican governor says he'll promptly call a new session, but that would force his party to refile the bill.
Those runaway Democrats are required to act on that agenda. They're failing to do their duty.
Texas Democrats say the second condition for their return involves California. They want Democrats there to propose their own new congressional maps to offset changes in Texas. The California legislature is expected to consider the issue next week.
We're putting the maps on the ballot, and we're giving the power to the people.
Democrats say they're fighting so that more voters have a voice.
They're trying to fix these maps to predetermine the outcome of the 2026 elections in favor of a Republican majority.
Critics contend that argument is now hypocritical.
Let me summarize Gavin Newsom's speech today. Gerrymandering is evil. Please vote for my gerrymandering.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Now to your morning rush. President Donald Trump boarded Air Force One this morning, headed to Alaska for the first meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin since 2019. They'll meet in Anchorage to discuss the war in Ukraine without Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump says his goal is a ceasefire, though he's recently suggested some land swapping may be needed. Events start at noon our time. The White House is reportedly in talks to take a stake in Intel. Bloomberg says that the details are still being worked out as the chipmaker struggles financially. President Donald Trump met with Intel CEO Monday, a meeting the company called candid and constructive. Shares jumped more than 7% yesterday on news of a possible deal. Jaguar Land Rover is recalling more than 120,000 Range Rovers and Range Rover Sport SUVs from 2014 to 2017. The front suspension knuckles could crack, possibly causing a suspension arm to detach and raising crash risks. Owners will be notified by next month. Dealers will repair or replace the parts as needed. And Attorney General Pam Bondi has named Drug Enforcement Administration Administrator Terrace Cole as D.C.'s Emergency Police Commissioner during the federal emergency declared by President Trump. D.C.'s Attorney General says Bondi's directive is unlawful and that police must continue to follow the orders of D.C.'s police chief. And that's your morning rush.
In other national news, a federal judge shot down the Trump administration's guidance aimed at eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion at schools and universities. The judge ruled that the U.S. Education Department violated the law when it threatened to pull federal funding from any school that continued their DEI initiatives. There has been no comment yet from the Education Department, which at this point is supposed to drop that guidance.
We now know the names of every Seattle police officer who attended the January 6th rally in Washington, D.C. So here's a look at all of the names there on your screen. Internal investigation centers mainly on former officers Alexander Everett and Caitlin Rochelle, a married couple who told investigators that they couldn't see the Capitol steps and had no clue of violence or forced entry that was happening just yards away. But Seattle's Office of Police Accountability says photos show the couple on restricted Capitol grounds and clear view of rioters. The investigation found Everett and Rochelle crossed barriers set up by Capitol Police and were next to the Capitol building. The two were fired in August of 2021. Investigators say 3 other officers in attendance did not violate policies. None of the officers were criminally charged.
Multnomah County's chief operating officer is launching an independent investigation into how the county handles conflicts of interest. An outside law firm will review policies on hiring and training and evaluate employees who could either profit from their positions or be influenced by outside interests. The move follows the recent removal of Preschool for All director Leslie Barnes, whose child care center became the focus of a state audit.
Phil and Penny Knight wrote another big check in the name of cancer research. The Nike founder and his wife gave $2 billion to the Knight Cancer Institute at OHSU, the largest single donation ever made to a U.S. university. OHSU's president says the money will be used in many different ways to help with the fight against cancer, including breakthrough clinical trials. It will also be used to hire roughly 300 additional faculty and staff, along with other support positions.
All right, time to check back in with Rod Hill. Weather is one of our big headlines today, Rod, because we've got that rain situation moving through the area.
Yeah, you know, if this were January, it's raining, but it's August and we just don't get it that often. There's nothing stormy or concerning about today's weather. In fact, I think it's going to be pleasant to be out and about this morning and pretty pleasant to be out and about this afternoon. It will be overcast, but the showers coming will just be light passing showers, and you'll be dry. Then you might see another light shower pass at some point. There is more rain overall up in Washington, less in Oregon, and it is raining all the way down our coast this morning, where it's been quite wet, but again, the rain amounts have been light. Here's the inn at Otter Crest. This is down south of Depot Bay, still in Lincoln County, looking up to the north, and that's just pretty socked in, and they've been reporting some light rain. Our bricks are just a little wet. Again, the rain has been traceable amount so far measured in Portland, 66, a view of the square from our Pioneer Park building location. Here are the temperatures. With thick, low cloud cover expected throughout the day, we won't warm up much. I mean, it's 66 right now. We could still be in the 60s at noon. We'll be doing well just to get up into the 70s today. 61 Estacada and Silverton is a little bit cooler too at 58. Dallas is at 64 degrees. Callie and Tucker are our KGW dogs, plural, of the day. Looks like they're pals, beautiful Goldens. Dog of the day at kgw.com is email address. Send us a pic of your dogs, and your dog will become our dog of the day. A couple of Goldens there this morning. Beautiful. All right. Our forecast map for today. It is sunny out in eastern Oregon. You'll be in the mid-80s. It's dry in central Oregon today as well. Bend up to 80. You folks, central and east side, will have shower chances tomorrow. In fact, there's the possibility of scattered thunderstorms tomorrow out in eastern Oregon. We'll keep an eye on that. It's just a low gray day with mainly light rain at times here on the west side. And for Portland, very little total rain all the way through 4 or even 5 o'clock today. This evening, rain picks up. Then we have that heavier rain band overnight. Most of the rain, maybe all of it, is gone by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. So our weekend, not a 0% chance of rain, but overall looks dry and partly sunny both Saturday and Sunday with highs in the 70s. All right, Chris is busy again this morning. Here he is.
Yeah, Rod, unfortunately, another traffic alert now we're hearing down in Yamhill County. Sorry, I can't bring it up on the map right now, but Highway 233 right now closed south of the McMinnville Airport because of a crash. I'm just hearing about this from ODOT. No word on the severity of the crash or any injuries, but the detour to get around that right now is Southeast Airport Road. I'll keep you posted on that in Yamhill County. The drive this morning in the metro area is in much better shape than it was yesterday. There's I-5 near the Interstate Bridge out of Clark County. Again, that is zipping right along. Highway 26 outside the Vista Ridge Tunnel. I mean, we've got a little brake tapping coming down the hill and into the tunnel, but that's not bad. And Interstate 84, that too is zipping right along. So far, so good on the freeways. I do want to let you know about this. Despite the rain threat this evening, ODOT is still a go, they say. This was as of yesterday anyway, for the final weekend closure of 217 northbound from 99W to Shoals Ferry. That'll kick in overnight tonight. And the freeway reopens as late as 5 o'clock on Monday morning. China?
Thank you, Chris. Still to come on Sunrise, we're talking the deals and steals of back-to-school shopping, plus a little back-to-school trivia when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We're talking back to school shopping here, which isn't just about getting supplies for the little ones, because college kids need school supplies too.
Yeah, and those dorm room essentials typically cost more than those crayons and pencils. NBC's Vicki Nguyen looks into some back to school deals that could save you some cash.
With nearly 20 million college students headed to campus this fall, retailers are rolling out big end-of-summer sales on everything from school clothes and supplies to tech and dorm room essentials.
Is back to school second only to the holiday season?
Yes, this store will do more business than December. This is their Super Bowl. Their colleagues
Target Senior Vice President Samir Shah says despite rising tariffs, they're keeping 2024 prices on many back-to-school items, from notebooks and binders to pens and storage bins.
I love the theme that I went with this year.
And with dorm decorating posts going viral on social media,
you are going to absolutely hate the floors that come with your dorm, so make sure you get yourself a rug.
For the first time, many Targets, like this one outside Boston, have entire sections for dorm room design, offering furniture and accessories in 4 distinct styles.
We're always paying attention to what the students are looking for, and our curation of the entire assortment can reflect that.
For Northeastern University students Shannon and Kira, it's one-stop shopping.
It's so easy. All the colors are in like one area in the dorm section. So I can just kind of throw it all together and it makes sense and it looks good in the end.
Walmart, do your thing.
Walmart also offering great deals on dorm room merch, even letting students create mock-ups of their space online. Best Buy slashing prices on popular student tech. Amazon Prime offering up to half off select school supplies. And for shoppers ages 18 to 24, a new Prime for Young Adults membership gives cash back on a variety of items and costs half the price of a regular Prime membership.
Tell me how you save money. I typically like to compare prices, and then sometimes I'm not afraid to splurge a little bit if I know the quality is going to last, because I'm planning on keeping most of my furniture for my future apartments.
The deals aren't just for college kids, with many K-12 schools starting after Labor Day in the Northeast. Retailers also rolling out new sales for younger students.
Bring on the new year with Kohl's Back to School sale.
Starting Monday, Kohl's Friends and Family event will slash prices on kids' apparel, backpacks, and lunchboxes, and give an additional 20% off qualifying purchases. Back at Target, you can get over 1,000 kids' essentials for under $5, from water bottles and headphones to school outfits.
The number one for back to school shopping is things that they really quickly grow out of every year.
With 3 girls under 8, mom Jess Hennessy says stretching her dollar is critical this time of year.
Things are just so expensive, groceries, clothing, utilities. So when I'm shopping for my family, I'm really making sure that I'm getting the best bang for my buck.
All right, speaking of back to school shopping, we've got our KGW school supply drive happening through August 30th. Really easy to donate this weekend. You can do so right at the checkout stand at your local Safeway or Albertson stores. Also, remember this week, Rick's Custom Fencing is matching the first $5,000 donated to the drive, so this is a great week to give cash to the school supply drive. If you'd like to give the old-fashioned way, you can drop off physical school supplies. We're going to be out at the Clackamas Promenade, so that's right across the street from Clackamas Town Center. We're going to be outside the On Point Community Credit Union branch there from 11 a.m. until 2 o'clock this afternoon. Yes, Rod's pointing at me. I will be there. Definitely through the noon hour, maybe even longer. So come by, say hi, drop off school supplies as we say thank you to Rick's, Safeway, and those longtime supporters of ours at On Point Community Credit Union for supporting this year's school supply drive.
All right, so we had a back to school trivia last week.
Yeah.
You got a point.
Yeah.
You got a point. So now it's time for
1-1.
a tiebreaker to find out if you were ready for this back to school season.
All
The
right.
question of the day is,
Yeah, all right.
what's the area of a rectangle that's 5 units long and 4 units wide?
Oh, good grief.
The
5
area?
units long and 4 units wide. You probably don't want to talk about how you're doing it. You just want to give an answer.
I have an answer.
I'm going to say space. The area is known as space.
No, they want a number, right? Are you looking for a number, China?
Well,
Yes,
that's my
looking for a
answer.
number.
The area is 20 units.
What do you say?
I have no idea.
Isn't it 5 times 4?
I don't even have.
I'm going to say it's 5 times 4 gives
Are
you
you
the
talking
area.
about the square? Yeah, that'd be like the square footage of it.
We're talking about what China asked. What is the area of this rectangle?
I'll go 22 then. I'll go 20.
China, what's the answer?
Rod, you
Actually, my answer
literally
was-
do math for your career.
My answer was 20.
Is the answer right?
5
Here
times
is
4
the
20.
answer.
What is it?
Yeah, baby!
Yes.
That's what I said.
The area
20.
equals length times width. Did you not pay attention?
Oh, I
in
like
school?
my first answer, actually, space. If you take a rectangle and you look inside, what do you have, ladies and gentlemen? You have?
20 units.
You have space.
I see how this would have went if we were in high school together. It would have been, I would have showed up with all my work done, ready to go, my pencil sharpened, ready to go for the school day, and here comes Rod. Hey, Drew, I need the answer to number 7 on our homework last night. I'm not going to give it to you,
I
Rod.
think that guy in school, his name was Johnny, actually. Johnny, man, what do you got?
Oh, you were the cheater. Mm.
I remember, do we have to move on? I remember whispering. There was a big dude in my class. He was on the football team. We called him Soupy because his last name was Campbell. Big guy. He said, Drew, whisper the answer into my ear during the test today. It was an essay test. I mean, you had to, and I'm literally like leaning over, whispering an entire essay answer into this kid's ear.
Oh my goodness, that's hard.
We got caught.
Yeah. How fast is the train going? If it's going 30 miles per hour and then it jumps over a trash can and there's also a bird inside, the answer is red.
I always like those long math paragraph worded questions.
Well, you did
You
well
can't
with
even
math.
get
Yeah,
basic.
You did really well
I
with
said
math
space,
today.
man. Space. I'm sticking
Get over
with
to
my
your
answer.
space in the weather wall.
Next time you look at a rectangular, stare in the middle of that. What are you going to see? You're going to see space.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sticking with it. Here's a look at our rainfall map. 7 to 107 inch in Tillamook, 11 100s up in Astoria. The Dow's measurable, 4 100s. Portland, we don't measure traces on this auto plot. That's why you see the zeros, but Portland's had a trace, and Salem has had a trace as well. And then there's been much more overall up in Washington, including Seattle is now looking at 3/10 of an inch of rain. So realize if you are traveling to Seattle on this Friday, you're going to find much more wet weather up that direction than you will here at home. The clouds are going to be solid throughout the day. You see the weather system pushing in. But so far in the Rose City and the Willamette Valley and Vancouver, it's just been light showers passing. And I think that's what we stick with today. So not a bad Friday to be out and about. Just some light showers passing from time to time this morning and the same thing this afternoon. It's this evening that the rain picks up and really gets going. I'll show you that in a second. 66 in Kelso and Portland, 62 in Astoria, 65 degrees in Salem right now. Here's the Futurecast movie. 9 o'clock this morning, thick cloud cover. It's a very gray day. Just scattered showers around, but not a lot of rain all the way through the 5 o'clock hour, if this is correct. And I think it is. Now here's rain picking up later this afternoon along the coast, also in the Kelso-Longview area. And then we get into the evening hours, and now this is when it really gets going. Here's 9 o'clock. So that is the main rain band pushing through with some heavier rain rates. Maybe some winds bouncing to 20, south-southwest wind, gust to 25, but not looking for much wind really. This is overnight at 3 in the morning. So remember the front comes in at about 2. Here it is at 3. Now the rain is pushing out of the valley up into the Cascades. Here's 7 o'clock in the morning, showing some lingering showers, mainly getting up into the Cascade foothills. And then we go on to be basically dry. So the weekend still looks to be, I mean, there's the chance of a spotty shower Saturday and I think even Sunday. But overall, the messaging for the weekend is once we get going tomorrow and Sunday, just partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 70s and really nice. So after some light showers this morning and this afternoon, this map showcases for the valley mostly the rain that's going to fall this evening and overnight. Latest numbers still show Portland with a pretty good soak, potentially at 32 100ths of an inch. Here's the valley forecast. We'll be up into the 70s today, doing well just to do that with the thick cloud cover, and there'll be very limited rain down in Salem. You folks may not even get more than a trace until you get into the evening hours. Light showers more frequent up in southwest Washington, battleground 72. Here's the weekend moving forward, mainly dry, 76, 78 Saturday, Sunday, and right now a nice stretch of August weather going Monday through Thursday of next week. And that is the forecast. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. Let's pick it up with a traffic alert, a TriMet alert, actually. Some max delays right now due to a some sort of a mechanical issue in the Rose Quarter, the Green Line right now running on a 15-minute delay, and another mechanical issue near OMSI, creating delays of up to 15 minutes on both the orange and the yellow lines this morning. Let's get you back out to Yamhill County. A traffic alert right now on Highway 233. ODOT reporting that 233 is in fact closed at this point, and the detour to get around that is Southeast Airport Road. Again, that's just south of McMinnville. The freeway drive locally is in a whole lot better shape than it was yesterday at this time. This is I-5 near the Interstate Bridge in Clark County. We are rolling right along on that side of town. Door number 3 shows us the Banfield. Interstate 84 looks good as well. So far, no major freeway trouble out there at this moment. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
The Portland Criterium is back this year and expanding to 2 full days. This weekend, more than 300 athletes are slated to participate in the urban bicycle race along routes in the Pearl District and Lloyd District. A Criterium, if you're not familiar, is a short circuit bicycle race typically held on closed city streets featuring fast-paced courses.
Portland, one of the best cycling cities, but it's also events like this that take place downtown and other parts of Portland that really bring the cycle community together.
In terms of like keeping things weird, this is pretty weird, right? Having a bike race, especially a fast-paced one like this, around a mall, very unique and very Portland in my opinion. And Lloyd is a great place for it because we're so transportation focused.
Steeplejack Brewing is the presenting sponsor, so that means beer gardens and food carts will be there too. You can visit portlandcriterium.com for more information.
The Trailblazers' new season starts in 2 months, and we're excited to tell you that we have 6 Blazers games playing right here this year on KGW. So here's a quick look at those games, starting with the November 18th matchup against the Suns. You can check out more on the team's schedule, including the games that we're airing at KGW.com. By the way, the season opener is October 22nd at home against the Timberwolves.
Coming up at 8, we're hearing from the family of 2 people stabbed at their home in Longview after their handyman was arrested for the attack almost 1,000 miles away from the crime.
We'll also have the latest on this morning's biggest world headline. President Trump meeting with President Putin about Russia's war with Ukraine, specifically how to end the war. The Sunrise Show continues in the 8 o'clock hour in 3 minutes.